Imagine this. You are running towards the train so that you can hop into it. The train goes slower and then you feel like you have the chance to get inside of it. But then it goes faster, and it continues this way for a while. The train is slow, and you are confident that you will get it, but then it moves faster, and you feel like giving up, but you continue to run. You eventually lose the train. This makes you feel that in every situation you are nearly there, but then something happens and it's like you must start from the very beginning to get what you desire. You decide to stop running for a train because you think that this makes you unlucky, so you allow the train to meet you instead. The train you were running for went, but you learned something from it, which was to not make an effort chasing something that will leave you. This is to avoid disappointments.
I am all alone, and I will do anything for others to stay by my side. I made a mistake that I think I need to amend, and the only way I can do that is by spending time with anyone who is willing to listen. What mistake did I make, you ask? I did not communicate with those who cared about me, and now we have grown apart and my self-esteem feels like it's at its all-time low. I just want others who are willing to accept me. I made a mistake in the past, but I am willing to change it, by letting others know that I genuinely want to spend time with them. Making friends is so difficult because I think I am too intense, but really, I just want someone there who is willing to tell me that everything is going to be okay. Imagine having a family who were not there emotionally, but you had people outside the family who were also a close-knit that wanted to be there, but you never saw past that. This is because you felt the need to block them out. Years later, you see others reconnecting with their old friends that they have grown up with and realize that you cannot relate, and it just feels so difficult to handle. I have a lot to say, but I feel like I cannot express it. All I want is you here by my side. All I want is your presence. Is that hard to ask for? Will you leave me and make me feel alone? I will always be here, waiting for your presence. Sometimes I wish I can turn back and not feel like I took others for granted. Sometimes I wish I can turn back and let others know that they were part of my life and I appreciated them. Can we turn back? Others told me to give them attention, but I felt better being by myself. This made me appear odd, and others were puzzled, but they still wanted me in their lives. But they gave up eventually. I was not there for them, even though they needed me. Waiting for your presence. Sometimes I wish I can turn back and not feel like I took others for granted. Sometimes I wish I can turn back and let others know that they were part of my life and I appreciated them. Can we turn back? I search, and I regret it, and feel I can no longer be with them. Wish they knew. Sometimes I wish I can turn back and let others know they were part of my life and I appreciated them.
Have you commented on my video yet? Please comment and like, it will help a lot. Subscribe if you like this video and want more.
I made a mistake, but I am realizing this years later, when the mistake had completely been made. Do you ever get to the point where you don't realize the value until it's gone and then you look at your life and realized you had something great? This happened to me after the people in my life decided to leave. Some people do not get the chance to meet others who genuinely care about them. It's years later and I wish I could amend the relationships with those that cared about me. I am at the stage where I want to be around those that truly cared, because it looks like I can no longer find the same people. You may be wondering who the people in the past that cared so much for me. The people that are more relevant to speak about are friends and family friends. They were people that I grew up with. I grew up in a community in which I was around people, but all I wanted to be was alone. I just felt like I couldn't express myself to those around me, that I just wanted to be alone. Now that I am older, I seek for people that genuinely will care about me, people I can spend time with. People that can let me know that everything is alright, everything is going to be okay. Why did I decide to isolate myself from those around me? Is it because I am an introvert, or was I traumatized? Was I depressed? I think the people who used to be in my life will say that I was distant with them, but also ungrateful. I was ungrateful and selfish because they cared, and I did not show any care towards them. Now what will they think if I tried to reconnect with them? They probably will think it is strange because they thought I had moved on. I moved on, but instead I did not move on. I was isolated from everyone. There were memories to make with other people. There was growth that was waiting for me. But instead, I decided to spend time on my own. I am currently trying to build relationships with those around me, but it is not the same, because I did not grow with these people. I have lost contact with those I have grown up with, which will have been the easiest relationships to build. The early relationships will have allowed future relationships to be a success. One thing I ask myself is, have I lost contact with myself? Will it be possible to build relationships when I have isolated myself for a long time? When the people who were built in my system are now gone? It feels like I must build relationships with those who do not know who I am. Do I know who I am? Do I know who I used to be? Everyone I meet, see me for who I am now, since I have isolated myself, and this has made those in my life to leave. I now must build relationships with new people. It's hard because it feels like a work in progress. The people in the past knew who I was, now I must paint a picture to new people. But I don't know if it's that easy. Will it be possible to build relationships with others since I have isolated myself from everyone? Everyone around me will not see me the way I want them to see me. They probably will see me as weird and hard to get to know, but I am truly not that way. What happens when you have isolated yourself so much to the point in which you have lost contact with everyone? You have lost contact with everyone and everyone around you finds it difficult to build a relationship with you. I think I need to ask myself, why did I isolate myself for so long? Was it because of my family? Is it because I did not get my emotional needs met by my family? Was it because I came from a broken family and that stopped me from expressing my needs to those around me, expressing myself to those who truly wanted to care about me? Was I in the clouds? Can I break out from this? Usually, people say when you isolate yourself from everyone, this might be because you are depressed and going through something. But what about attachment styles? What about having an anxious attachment style because of the family that I thought loved me but did not pay attention to me? This may have been why the easiest thing I felt I could respond was to be on my own in my own space to process everything. I did not have family that truly wanted to be there for me. I feel introverted in nature, but what I truly want is someone who cares for me and someone I can express myself with. In the past, I did not feel the need because I thought that was the easiest way to express myself. Now I see other people connected with others they have known for a long time, but that is not an option for me. So, what do I do now? I have met myself and I am ready to build with my life. I feel like I could have done these ages ago. I feel like I have growing up to do. But then I realize if I admit to myself from who I was before, why can't things in my life change? Usually when we are isolating, at that moment, we don't see anything else we can do to change that. This is our way of expressing ourselves. The good part is that this does not have to go on for too long. There may be a time when you realize that isolating yourself has made you miss moments that could have been formed as good memories with other people. To realize that you have isolated yourself from everyone is one step forward, and this is when the power comes. When we isolate ourselves from everyone, we don't usually see other people, we don't see their worth as friends, people who truly cared about us until they leave us, and we grow apart from them. If we were to try to mend those relationships, will they want to be in our lives since we went further away from them? What we can get from this is realizing is one step to opening up yourself to people. Since you have isolated yourself and do not know who you are, now you have realized this, you must rediscover yourself and realize that you are not alone. Rediscovering yourself by communicating, and this does not have to be with others even though that might be your inner desire right now. But communicate with yourself so that you can communicate easily with others, but how? Express yourself by journaling, considering therapy or talking to yourself about how you feel. This can be useful especially if you do not have family who will be willing to listen, which is why you have ended in this situation. Now it's your job to communicate with yourself. When you are feeling sad, know what will make you feel better. When you are feeling happy, identify what it is and allow yourself to experience it. Isolating yourself from everyone has made you detach yourself from others. Now you must find yourself by doing the job your parents didn't, which is communicating with yourself. It can feel hard to forgive yourself when you have felt you ignored those who cared about you, but forgiving yourself is a step to change and it's important. If you do not forgive yourself, you will be open to anyone, and this is not the best way of healing. This is not the best way of turning around your mistakes. Depression or isolation can be a popular thing, but what will you do this next time around? Will you be open to others, or will you shut them out? What are the triggers for you? Maybe the triggers is going through something in life, makes you isolate yourself from others, but that does not always have to be a bad thing. Admitting you need space and communicating that will allow others to hear you. We think we are the only ones going through something all the time or at a specific time. We think no one else could go through what we are going through. One thing we need to realize is people respond to their problems in different ways. Some people feel the need to spend time with others to express what they are going through. Some people feel the need to speak about their issues to someone, which can be therapy involved, and others like me want to block everyone out because we think no one will understand. But the people in our life sometimes just want to be there. If you do not feel the need to share your problems, then that's okay, but don't isolate yourself to the point you have lost contact with yourself. Now you feel like you can no longer meet people who will just be there because all those people have gone. But that is not true. There are people there who just want to make friends after having friendships they may have considered had failed. When we are friends with people, our weaknesses will appear, which can make friendships with others difficult, but if we express ourselves and tell the other person what we are uncomfortable with, the right people will be willing to accept that. The people who were once in our lives make us realize that there are still people out there who will be willing to accept us. When you have realized something about yourself, you may feel the need to be open because you did something wrong, but that can feel like a cycle in which all you want to do is isolate yourself. The solution is to just be. Allow yourself to just be and be there for yourself first, and allow others to be in acceptance with that. Forgive yourself for your mistakes and realize you have gained power by realizing the mistakes you made from the past. This is because now you can change from it and turn a new leaf. You may have an anxious attachment style, but that is not the end, realizing that you block others out and finding ways to express yourself. For example, communicating that you need space can help others understand you, and the cycle does not have to be repeated. There are people out there that will just block everyone out without telling others that they need space, and this is likely to make the friendship difficult. If you express yourself, then you are letting others know that you need to put yourself first, and it's very important that you have space. Sometimes we may feel the need to spend a lot of time on our own to process our emotions, but what about our friends or the people around us? What about letting them know you need space for a while on your own to process everything? Right now, you may feel isolated because those who cared about you are no longer in your life, but what you can do this time around is realize that communicating to others is very important so that others can respect your space, and building relationships can be easier. It may be hard to build relationships now, but communication in terms of having space is what can help you. Realizing your mistakes, for example, that you isolated yourself and did not communicate with others, will allow you to know what to do the next time around. You are powerful, and it's important to remember that.
When our parents or those we are supposed to depend on are distant towards us, but feel the need to have moments in which they are there for us, this can make us feel confused, and because of this, we isolate ourselves from everyone. This is because we do not know what we will get the next time around. Will we get people who will always be there for us, or who will surprise us and make us feel disappointed? We may feel the healthier way eventually to respond to this is to refuse promises from others by distancing ourselves from them, but as a result, this makes them feel not appreciated. This then becomes a cycle in which the disappointment we chose to escape from continues. But what if we saw honesty and communication important for a relationship to continue? What if honesty and being upfront was the communication style you chose to understand? How will you respond? And how will others respond to this?